Hello everybody and welcome back to Breeding Positivity's Daily Tip Explainer video. Today's tip is crisis strength. Identify our crisis strength. A crisis strength allows us to focus on short-term survival while still thinking about long-term opportunities. A crisis, like for many of us, exposes our weaknesses. But if we look deep enough, we will find that it also exposes our strengths. Sometimes it is the rock bottom that we hit that allows us to build a foundation that we need to make us strong again. And for many of us, this pandemic has been rock bottom. Throughout history, there have been many crises, and these have exposed many weaknesses, and in its wake has left a different world. A new world. A world filled with new threats, but more importantly, new opportunities. Opportunities don't just emerge as an independent phenomenon, but it is the result of changes already taking place. And it is during these time of changes that we need to identify our strength. The one thing that makes us different to everyone else. The one thing that we can leverage and grow. It is this strength that can become our crisis strength that allows us to emerge victorious from this pandemic or any other crisis. In 1918, the Spanish flu infected close to 500 million people, about a third of the world's population at that time. And while the numbers differ, it took the lives of close to 100 million people. And this was taking place while an even bigger crisis was happening, and that was World War I. And yet, the world survived. Finding our crisis strength allows us to survive and thrive. Some of the aspects that we should be thinking about as a business is our agility, our speed, and our adaptability. This can be a great strength for us to use to be able to shift quickly into new ways of servicing the needs and wants or the new needs and wants of our customers. But it could be that we are able to feed a product or a service into a space where our competitors are weak or not that well positioned. Or do we have the resources to do things that others may not? Here's the thing. Sometimes we find ourselves thinking that we need large amounts of capital to get things done. Yet it is the resources that we have available right in front of us that can provide us the most benefit in a time of crisis. Remember, capital is only one aspect of resources. And every single one of us, no matter who we are in this world, has limited resources. The trick is, how do we make use of those resources and leverage them to be able to survive and thrive? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And as Ralph Nader once wrote, your best teacher is your last mistake, as long as you are learning from it. Here's a little story of a great company that we all know that started during one of the greatest crises the US experienced at that time, the Great Depression. Walt Disney. Yes, Walt Disney started and flourished during a crisis. In 1928, the brothers Walt and Roy Disney introduced the world to Mickey Mouse. Remember that wonderful character that till today touches the hearts of many of us and puts a smile on our faces? But no matter how tough the situation was, the brothers knew that people needed a smile more than ever. And they were able to navigate the challenges they faced by the Great Depression by using their crisis strength, which, as we all know, was to put a smile on the faces of people. This allowed them to grow their businesses to the point where they could begin work on their dream through a full-length animated feature. Another smile positivity breeding animation we all love, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Last year, in 2019, it was reported that Walt Disney revenue was somewhere crazy like $70 billion. And it all started during a crisis. We all have our crisis strength that we can take advantage of. So I ask you, what is your crisis strength? What is it that you know? What is it that you can do better than anyone else?